Investworks who's joining in as far as this afternoon is concerned. Amit, thanks for taking the time out today. We're just talking to Ashu in terms of the strategy as far as the markets were concerned. What's it building up in terms of the Nifty? Because yesterday's rally was pretty strong. Today the policy with no major surprises and the commentary being a little bit on the dovish side. You got the markets holding on pretty well, 0.8% gain.
Yeah. Hi. So if you look at, see, we have a model that we had created. In it was around 3-4 months back that we ran the model. It was around 6,000 levels that time.
Okay.
The model was suggesting that you should be around 40% allocated to equities.
Fine.
Now we have moved to around 7,400 kind of levels, and we run the model again. It is still showing around 40% allocation to equities. So from an investment perspective, I think 7,400 also is a decent level to enter into. What has fundamentally changed in the last 3-4 months is, if you look at MIBOR rates were 10%, now they are at around 8% kind of thing.
Okay.
Volatility was close to around 22-23%, and it's dropped to around 15% kind of levels. Plus, because of the April quarter, there has been some EPS revision per se. So broadly, from an investment perspective, I think 7,400 is also a decent entry point from a 1 year, 1.5 year kind of a perspective. From a absolutely very short-term perspective, we think markets will not go anywhere. You will see a 100-200 point kind of moves per se, but market should broadly be in a range of around 7,100 to 7,500, 525 kind of levels.
Are you tracking a Tata Steel, Amit? Today, look at the kind of move, of course, the top move, 6.5%.
Yeah, I think what is happening is, if you move beyond Nifty, individual stocks are becoming very volatile. So if you have one day it is Infosys, the other day it is ONGC, third day it is Tata Steel, fourth day it is SBI. So that is not getting reflected in the Nifty index per se. But my sense is this is more like people who sold options and delta hedge their positions kind of are getting caught in this, and now they are covering up their positions, and that is leading to further spike up in the stock. We'll get a confirmation only tomorrow on this.
Okay, so Ashu, let me bring you back in here, because you were also talking about how there was going to be this constant sort of sectoral churn, and if we take into account what Amit's also talking about, and how do you find that it's hard to identify that churn? I mean, is it as simple as from defensive to cyclicals? But within that, if you're trying to get a sense of what's really going to be the next flavor of the moment, how are you managing to in such a stock specific or stock driven kind of rally?
I think basically, see, all kinds of researches are available as far as stock specific is concerned. It is identifying the sector per se, and ideally you have to be with the leaders. For example, I mean, as is various basis where we are talking, I feel that probably cement is another sector which in maybe next 10 days, 15 days, 30 days, I don't know, we all would be talking about. We will see some kind of a move or some kind of a spike started coming in cement also. So I think you have to be little alert, and overall, as I said, that the market, there are tailwinds behind. The market is supporting you. Even if you are held up with a particular stock, like Amit was saying that ONGC, couple of days before expiry was 450, 415. Expiry day 370, again today it is 410. So this will continue to be volatile, but you have to be on the right side, in the sense that end of the day, if I'm positive on ONGC that probably the target is between 450 to 500. We have to continue to be, have conviction and be with the stock. So volatility would be the flavor because of, between the same, the index range. But I think identification of stock, as you rightly said, is very important. But I would still say that ideally to be with the leaders would certainly pay off.
Ashu, I'm actually just going to pull Abha's question a little forward and ask you this. So basically, investors, forget the traders who are looking at the intraday move. No doubt, they played the volatility pre-election. They've got that move on the week after election result as well. You've got that huge upside taking place. But from somebody who's looking to enter the markets, who's missed the entire run over the last, let's say, 1 year or even a longer horizon, these levels that the markets are currently trading at, one should still be comfortable. Would you advise investors and clients to actually go ahead and look at probably entering the quality stocks at least?
Yes, certainly. I think that precisely is the problem, that we have been talking about this since last many months, that is this the right level? We still, even post-election, pre-election at 7,000, is it but somewhere you have to get, otherwise you will keep missing. For example, I mean, capital goods, if somebody is not in L&T, BHEL is still a buy. I know it is very difficult for somebody to take a call who have seen a couple of months back, BHEL was 125, we were all negative, and at 255 we recommend to buy. But I feel the time has come that, I mean, these convictions will pay. So I think, for example, telecom, Bharti has not performed. I mean, the catch-up will happen, and you will see Bharti also performing. So there are still bets available if you want to be defensive. That for example, 1200 to X price L&T. I mean, it is difficult to buy. But as I said, there are still plays available, and one has to stick with that.
All right, fair enough. So that's the view coming in as far as the longer term strategy is concerned. But Amit, talking from a near term and a short term point of view, we spoke about the metal pack. I want to bring up a couple of the losers out here, and one stock that was just looking at closely is Dr. Reddy's. Well, it's no secret that the pharma stocks aren't really been in favor. They've been some of the ones that have been thrashed and they've been ignored a little bit. But Dr. Reddy specifically has seen a little bit of a knock of almost 14% in the last 1 month. Yeah. Look at the way the data is panning out. Anything that you've been tracking there?
Yeah, in fact, Dr. Reddy actually has been seeing a bigger sell-off than some of the other stocks like Lupin and all. So what we have in fact done in the past, and what we would recommend also, is you can do a pair trade, which is buy Dr. Reddy and sell Cipla, or buy Dr. Reddy, sell Lupin kind of trades. Because we think intra-sector this should correct, and Dr. Reddy should rally more than some of the other stocks in the same sector.
I should come in on this. I mean, when we talk about the pharma space itself, as I was saying, it's been, you want to play the cyclicals, you've seen the whole portfolio churn, but specifically on Dr. Reddy's, any thoughts? Because ever since the earnings came out, the stock has been in a somewhat of a downward trajectory.
Yeah, I know, certainly it is, because see, it also has to do with, because currently there are other high beta plays available. I mean, the easy money is on the table. I mean, you get into mid caps or certain stocks, and the way the kind of return, it has a lot to do with that. But sooner or later, I mean, if you ask me, I would still continue with Dr. Reddy. Maybe after a couple of days or maximum couple of weeks, you will see that it will start performing. So I think it is more to do not with the particular result, because currently the other opportunities are available. So generally there is a tendency to book profit, and one bad result or one circumspect result, suddenly you start thinking that is the right time, and when other opportunities are available, you get into that and the portfolio churn happens. But I think sooner or later you will see that Dr. Reddy again, the trajectory is back to, the upside. Okay,
let's take a look at the broader markets as well, and there's plenty of action there. One clear theme, Ashu, is the sugar pack. Look at Sri Renuka, it's up about 10%. And that's not the only one in the pack. In fact, a whole bunch of those sugar names are buzzing about in trade. Bajaj Hindustan is also trading higher, for example, and a whole host of them following suit. This, of course, is on hopes of further positive moves to revive the sector from the government. But from the mid-cap pack, from the sugar space in particular, are any of these stocks looking attractive to you?
See, I think consistently for many years, not just months, I've been watching them academically. I don't think so Sugar Pack has been a trader's delight or has given anything to investor. Once in 3 months, once in 6 months, suddenly there is some kind of a sharp movement. But end of the day, there has been a price destruction in all the stocks which we talk about, barring probably the price currently they are in. If you look at the history. So I think as a discipline, I just watch them academically and I have no view on sugar stocks.
Okay, fine, fair enough. I guess we do need to see some concrete measures coming in there. Let me go across back to the banking pack as well, Amit, because today post-policy there wasn't too much of a reaction, but we did see public sector banks rally in trade yesterday. Yeah. What do you like from the public sector banking pack, or otherwise from the larger?
Yeah, from a public sector bank perspective, see, everything has gone up quite a bit. So, but still, having said that, you can look at a Bank of India or Bank of Baroda kind of a stock from a medium term. Having said that, I don't think these stocks will really outperform in the next 2-3 months kind of a thing, because they have already rallied quite a bit.
I noticed that HDFC Bank is also on your radar. You could just run us through your call there, and,
Yeah.
from the larger banking space.
Yeah, from a larger banking space, we think private sector banks are still interesting place to
But
be
don't you
in.
think they've actually run up more than the public sector bank?
Like for example, if you look at valuation perspective basis, for a fair value price for ICICI is around 1390 kind of levels. For an SBI is around 1700. So the spread between the fair value and the current price is very high in the public sector space. We need to see the NPS come down for the price to justify itself. So maybe 1-2 quarters down the line we may kind of rerun it. But having said that, like private sector from an investment perspective still makes sense. And very short term on a June series, like for HDFC Bank, we have a trade, which is you can buy 820 calls of HDFC Bank, sell 840, 860 calls. So you are investing, you are getting around 7 rupees of cash inflow in this trade, and you will make profit of at least 7 rupees if HDFC Bank is any value less than 880. Your maximum profit will be around 27
Right.
rupees if it is like anywhere between 840 and 860 kind of fees.
Sure. What about the what about the auto pack? I mean, I was just looking at a couple of these stocks. I mean, we've been tracking the monthly sales numbers that have been coming out over the last few days or so, but the auto counters have also got some good traction coming in. Tata Motors opened the day off in negative. It's actually managed to recover a little bit. Maruti is holding on to gains of nearly 1%. And remember, all this on the back of the fact that the numbers aren't being that strong. They aren't the best that we're talking about. There's still a mixed bag. Is this another pocket which should probably be in focus in this, hope that the recovery probably should start flowing in the next couple of quarters?
Yes, certainly. I think, as I said that, I mean, this is one sector which will start performing immediately over the sentiment, because it does not involve like real estate, a big ticket. It's a small ticket, and the sentiment turner can definitely help. So I would say, for example, I mean, they are taking a breather. For me, the best bet still is Tata Motor, and I will not be surprised that maybe just in a day or two, or maybe hovering around these levels and taking a breather, suddenly, like Tata Steel, there could be a sharp up move in Tata Motor also. So I think I'm positive, and as he said, we should hold our bet on this in this entire auto pack, and sooner or later you will see outperforming them.
What about an L&T, Amit, post that dramatic up move it saw after its numbers?
Yeah, if you look at the stock has been consolidating around 1650. We think could be some more upside. See, markets have become volatile, so there is no point saying that it will not go beyond 1700. It can definitely do it in a day's time per se. But we think sustaining beyond that will be slightly difficult. So what we are recommending one can do is do a ratio trade over there. Buy 1700 calls of L&T. Sell 2 lots of 1740 calls. So you are getting around 13 rupees of cash inflow. And if L&T remains any value less than 1780, which is close to around 8 or 9% from where we are right now, you will make at least 13 rupees of profit in this trade.
I was just looking at NTPC as well, Ashu, the last couple of days, and we've been talking about the PSU rally, we've been seeing the whole pack spike up, but that's NTPC today, which is up almost 3%. This one's really reacted with a little bit of a lag in terms of this entire PSU rally. Just pull up the 1 month performance. Actually, let me just show the 1 month performance of NTPC, and I'll come back for your view as well. If you look at the NTPC 1 month and the 3 month chart, you get a sense as to how it's really performed. There you go. 44% up in the last 1 month. And look at the 3 month performance of that stock as well. It's just spiked up towards the end there. 47, 48%. So for most part, when you had the PSU excitement coming in, NTPC was still pretty quiet. Ashu, your thoughts when we talk about NTPC and the utility segment as well?
See, I think NTPC per se has underperformed in the past also. I mean, barring this move, which is particularly, it was led by PSU because of a lot of hope around, and hope around PSU's hope around power. But if you look at the past, it has underperformed. It has underperformed in every other market. I mean, every kind of market, whether they were trading moves on the upside, or they were intermittent moves on the upside, or maybe in the sectors where it has underperformed by miles compared to any other sector. So I am not too gung-ho on this in spite of the current up move. So I would still go probably, if you talk about, I mean, I have to, I'll still go with the power grid, which looks like looks like to be, breaking out, or probably we can see a good up move on the higher side. But otherwise, I'm not saying that it cannot move up. We've seen that NTPC has, how the last month chart which you have showed. But end of the day, I think it has really underperformed. So currently, as I said, when ample opportunities are available, it is better to stick where, the conviction is higher, the momentum is higher, the trending is certainly up. So I would not get into NTPC.
Fair enough. In fact, we still have the, remember the overhang for NTPC is going to be critical in terms of regulation itself. Remember that CRC order, still somewhat of a little bit of an overhang on NTPC. But, from a near-term strategy, Amit, any call on NTPC?
There's a pair trade that you can do.
Okay.
It's long NTPC, short NMDC kind of a pair trade.
All right.
Because if you look at in the last 2-3 months, NMDC has also rallied quite a bit compared to what the normal market volatility is. So one can buy NTPC and sell NMDC in the futures market.
What's looking good to you from the broader markets?
Sorry?
What's looking good to you from the broader markets?
From a broader markets, I think a couple of stocks like Ashu was mentioning. We like Tata Motors. We like IT stocks.
From the mid-cap space?
From mid-cap space, you can look at stocks like Idea, stocks like Hexaware. See, these are stocks like where the spread between the mid-cap and large-cap valuations have really increased. Like, for example, if you look at Bharti, it's rallied close to around 10% from 330 to 360. Whereas Idea is still at the same 140 kind of level. So we think there is some cushion over there. In fact, you can do a pair trade also, buy Idea, sell Bharti kind of pair trades.
Ashu, any calls that you're working with from the broader markets? We just got, 2 odd minutes left for trade today. Any mid-cap stocks that are on your radar right now?
Crompton is certainly one I think I'm very positive on, and we are strongly recommending to buy. So I feel that from a trading point of view, from medium term to longer term, I think currently it holds the best bet for me.
Okay, so Crompton on Ashu's radar, and telecom clearly something that both our guests today are looking at quite closely. Ashu, thanks so much for joining us on the show. Great having you with us. Enjoy your evening. Priyank, just under 2 minutes left to go for markets to close.
That's right, just around 2 minutes left as far as the markets are concerned today, and it's turned out to be a decent session, remember, Abba, because you had a couple of things that play out here. Yesterday, you got a good rally coming in as we're building up to policy itself. Policy came in pretty much in line with what the expectations were as far as the rates were concerned, and the commentary being a little bit on the dovish side is what the market interpreted it to be, and that's why you've got a little bit of an up move coming in post policy for the markets. You did have a little bit of a profit taking or a little bit of a cut in terms of markets that did take place a few hours back, but then again it picked up and it's slated to close higher by almost 164 points. Now, stocks that were on the radar today, you had L&T maintaining the momentum from yesterday, 0.5% gain. BHEL, take a look at that one, 3.5% towards the end. And once again, the PSUs did get active. Coal India, look at that one, that stock up almost 6%. NTPC, 3% higher. ONGC also getting a little bit of traction, 4.3% towards the end. So barring the whole banking space, the PSUs did get a little active because SBI was still in negative, 0.2% cut there. The other segment that was active today was a metal pack. Tata Steel 7, Sterlite 6, Hindalco also chipping in with gains of almost 3.2% is what we noticed. Now, pull up some of the other major movers today. HDFC was up 2%, good momentum there. You also had some stocks like Hero Moto, which is up almost 3%. RIL also holding on to gains of nearly 1.2%. Stocks that lost out, M&M was down.